Hello everyone. It is me again. Yes, I am attempting a live stream again. All last week, I experimented with getting the feel for live streaming and getting comfortable with it. One thing I cannot stand is to be self conscious. I can't stand it. It's just one of my biggest. I can't stand to be nervous about something because I already have an anxiety disorder. I've had it all my life. Generalized anxiety, PTSD with generalized anxiety with panic attacks and obsessive compulsive traits. Not full blown OCD, but the traits. Means it's there, but it's manageable without medication. Yeah, that's my diagnosis, by the way. So come on in, come on in. I don't have anybody in yet. You guys, I'm going to give a couple people time to pop on, and I've just been experimenting with live streaming. It's not a big deal. I don't really expect much from my first live streams. I don't have a huge channel anyway. But that's one thing I hate. And I will admit, that's one thing we humans do not like to do. We do not like to show vulnerability a lot of time. But you know what? That's actually not a sign of weakness as people think it is. It's actually not a sign of naivety and weakness as people might assume. Now, some cases, yeah, it's just because they don't know. They don't have a clue. But for the most part, people who can show vulnerability are powerful. It means they can touch base with their deepest of emotions. And it actually means they are, a lot of times, more emotionally intelligent, more emotionally mature, and actually a lot stronger than people who can't show vulnerability. Those people, a lot of times, are just fronts. A lot of times, the people who cannot show vulnerability and talk about things like that and touch base with that, they look hard on the exterior, they look tough on the exterior, or they have that look of, I'm fitting in, I'm not cringe, I'm quiet and stoic and private, that crowd. And actually, I find that a lot of people that are afraid to be and can't touch base with vulnerability, I find them to be actually a lot less emotionally intelligent and a lot less emotionally mature oftentimes than people who can. Anyway, I hate feeling nervous though, and I will admittedly say I hate feeling self-conscious. And I worked so hard in my life for years and years and years to overcome that kind of shit. Hell no, it didn't just come easily. Hell no, it didn't just come naturally. But people will assume that it did. If they see you walking around in confidence and doing your thing, they will just assume that that just comes naturally, and that sometimes they'll just assume that you're an arrogant whatever the F, and they will really be, I'm trying to be careful what I say in these live streams, but they'll really be hating on you. And they won't even have a damn clue the years of struggle and hardship and suffering and actually the anxiety and fear and the shit you actually had to go through to get your confidence, to get to the point where you were not self-conscious anymore. So before I get into the actual topic, I always talk about different things. I am going to talk to you guys about my little journey to my 1,000 subscribers because everybody's talking about that now. So I figured I would do a little video on it. And the reason I'm also doing live today is, of course, so that I can catch up with some of you guys and do that whole thing. But I don't have any phone storage, okay? I have been working hardcore this week on videos. I just put out a new Selena tribute video, and it's all about Selena's earrings. I am an earring fanatic, in case you hadn't noticed, and it's all about Selena's earring collection. Brand new video. It's not very long. It's about 6 minutes. I had a lot of fun putting that together, so I worked really hard on that. A couple of shorts this week, and I'm currently working on another video. Lots of different stuff, y'all. But the reason I'm doing live today, another reason, is because I don't have any phone storage. I've got all that other content on my phone So I didn't even have the room to record, to put this into a video about the journey to 1,000 subscribers and what's up with, what's going on YouTube. So here I am going live with it, and we're going to get into it in a minute. But first, before I do that, let me check in and see who's here. Hello, hello, hello. Buenos dias. ¿Cómo estás? Que Dios te bendiga. I have always wanted to be fluent in Spanish ever since I was a little girl. There's something in my heart ever since I was born onto this earth. I have always had mad respect and deep love for Spanish and Mexican culture, Latin culture in general. And I have always wanted to be fluent in Spanish. And I didn't get to take it in school. There's a long story why. But I did get to take it when I went back to school in my 30s. I took 2 semesters of Spanish. But I'm still not fluent in it. I wish I could speak Spanish better. What's up, you guys? Thanks for checking in. So anyway, we're going to get into the 1,000 subscribers and how I got there. Kind of what was going on in my life at that time and how I got there and what that was like for me, because everybody's kind of telling their story lately. I see that trending on YouTube now. How I got to 1,000 subscribers, what was going on, tips and tricks and all that stuff. So, but anyway, I don't like being nervous. I don't like being self-conscious. And it's only in the last 2 years that I've fallen back into that shit. Because I worked really hard to get out of all that. And by the time I'm 48 years old now, by the time I was 40, I had worked all those years. By the time I was 40, I was like a machine. There was no stopping me. And it wasn't arrogance. It was healthy, positive, emotionally intelligent confidence, straight up, assertiveness, good empathy, good compassion, but also take no shit, no nonsense. I knew my rights. I knew my self-respect. I knew my value. And I wasn't self-conscious anymore. A lot of years, I threw myself into a lot of stuff, though. That's what I'm leading up to, okay? And it's going to come full circle to the whole YouTube thing. A lot of years in my younger years, starting in my late 20s, I threw myself into situations that would encourage my confidence. Okay, that's how it all started. Back in the day when we didn't have no damn YouTube. Well, YouTube was probably just starting back then. I'm talking almost 20 years ago, y'all. Back in the day when we didn't have social media everywhere. Everybody wasn't walking around with a phone in their hand, could be instant superstars. And, no, back then you had to go out and throw yourself into stuff and get your confidence, okay? It was shit like going down, and I had a lot of friends on the local band scene in my city. And back then I was making music. I was, saving up for studio time, going in. I would mix my tracks at home and then go in and lay my vocal tracks for an hour at the studio. I had a lot of friends in bands and on the music scene. And long story short, I would go out in person. This was before Facebook, y'all. This was even before MySpace. This was right before MySpace. I was 27, 28 years old when MySpace started coming out. I would go out and throw myself into things that were outside of my comfort zone. Running around with friends in bands. I was always on the music scene. I was always in the clubs downtown. Not those kind of clubs. Well, I was in those clubs too, but I worked in bars and restaurants. Those were huge scenes. I, meet and greet, mix and mingle. I knew a lot of people, and I would, get up and perform with my friends' bands. They would throw me up on stage to do a verse here and there. And I just kept stepping up. I kept pushing myself to confront things that made me nervous or that would make me self-conscious. And back then in my late 20s and early 30s, oh my God, I would dress up and go out and I would just assume the position of, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would assume the energy of I'm somebody. And I would put those clothes on and, get my courage up, and I would go out and perform with my friends' bands and jump up on stage and do this and that. And there were many other situations in my life where, I don't know, it was just very important to me to not pass up the opportunity. And it wasn't necessarily attention seeking. Sure, these people that sit up and go, oh, people are attention seekers. People like that are attention seekers. Well, okay, I get it. A great deal of it probably did come from my childhood trauma. That drive to be something extra. But you guys don't have to put such a shitty, arrogant, negative connotation to it. You can always flip your perspective and be a little more understanding. Sure. Yeah, I think some of that drive to be extra, to push myself, I think some of it did come from my childhood trauma and that feeling of insecurity in the childhood and all those things. But I also just believe some people are born onto this earth with creative personality types, artistic personality types. They're good at speaking. They're good at being bold. They're good at being leaders. They're good at performing. Certain people are just born with certain things, and those people are also going to be bold and courageous enough and, willing to embarrass themselves and not feel that it's cringe. They're going to be willing to do those things in the world and get up and do that and inspire other people. So you guys, the road to my social media stuff started long before social media. Okay. Any good thing in this world started with, sometimes things come naturally to people, but I guarantee you, even the stuff that comes very naturally to their personality, even though that's in there, I guarantee you they've had a lot of experience over the years, or they've had a lot of practice, or putting effort into building that part of themselves up. Okay. So just about anything really good in this world, or really comfortable that people seem to do with great ease, just about any of that has taken time and effort somewhere in their life. They didn't just snap their finger and become that way. A lot of times these days, people want shortcuts to everything. And I get it. I felt that way before too. I've been broke. I've been going through things and at certain times in my life where, hell yeah, I wanted to just be able to snap my fingers and fix it, or take some shortcut to get this or to get this or to get that. But I never stayed in that mentality long, because that's bullshit. I know, for one, that it doesn't work, and for two, it's just not me. I put real effort and real authentic energy into just about everything I touch, or I'm not gonna do it. So that's that. But the road to my social media stuff, okay? And I'm just talking to you guys as a small YouTube channel. I think I'm sitting at 2,200 subscribers right now, a little over 2,000 subscribers, which to me, that's wonderful. And the thing is, I haven't even had time to stop and celebrate that when I did get to the 1,000. I haven't even had time to process anything in the last year and a half at all, because of all the things that were going on in my life. But yeah, the road to my whole social media shit started years and years before social media was a thing. Practicing, not really knowing why I was doing certain things and building certain character in myself and developing a certain way about myself, but just doing it. Just intuitively knowing to do it and doing it and loving it and following a passion. We don't always know why we're doing certain things, but it's building on to something for the future. And so then MySpace came along. I got on MySpace around 2006. So yeah, y'all, I'm talking about a long time ago. So I got on MySpace. I started with MySpace in 2006. And I loved MySpace. In fact, I hated Facebook when Facebook first came out. I didn't want anything to do with it. I thought it was lame. I thought it was just full of PTA moms, and nothing wrong with PTA moms. I'm a mom myself, even though my boys are both almost 30. But you get what I'm saying. I just thought it was kind of lame and boring, and there was nothing flashy, nothing fun, no artistic. MySpace, I freaking loved it. because that's where all of the creative, artistic types, you could just be anything you wanted to be. You had to learn to copy and paste all those codes, remember? Who remembers setting up their MySpace? Anybody here that remembers MySpace? Okay, well, when MySpace first came out, y'all, I literally sometimes spent 12 fucking hours a day just sitting there learning how to set up my profile, go get codes and copy and paste them. I bet so many people don't remember that. You had to go get code, kind of like building websites in a way. You had to go get codes and paste them in certain places to put pictures on your profile, to put music players on your profile. But there was just so many more ways you could express yourself on MySpace, and I just loved it. You had this music player, and you could put your own music as an artist. You know, you could have an artist page, and you could literally upload your own songs, which you can do all that stuff now for sure. But for a while on Facebook, it was just lame. You couldn't do all that stuff, and it just didn't have the same artistic feel to me. Creative, artistic, anything goes vibe that MySpace had, and I loved MySpace. But I finally moved over to Facebook in 2009, and I gradually got used to it. And then Facebook was my primary start of getting on camera. Okay, we're getting up to the YouTube thing. We're getting there. But Facebook, I've been there 15 years. And Facebook was where my primary start to getting on camera, getting comfortable, and putting out videos started. And I did that on Facebook for about 4 years straight. Did not have a YouTube at that time. MySpace was gone. I have an Instagram, Twitter, but primarily it was Facebook. And it's so intimate over there because you know everybody. Most of the people on your feed, you know them all in real life, or you know people that know them, or you used to work with them, or you used to go to school with them, or you see them down at the grocery store every day, or you know what I'm saying? And so it's so much more of an intimate feel on Facebook. That's why a lot of times people are so much more reluctant to get on camera on Facebook or post, you know, things that they're into, or share about their, you know, I want to be a content creator. I have a YouTube channel. A lot of times people are really reluctant on Facebook because that's where all the friends and family are. That's where everybody is that's going to either know you, or they're going to try to make you feel self-conscious, or some of them might encourage you, you know, but I know that feeling. Okay. And so, but that's where it all started for me before my YouTube channel. I'm leading up to how I got into YouTube. And you know, back to the self-consciousness thing. I didn't do videos on Facebook. I started on Facebook in 2009. I didn't start popping out videos, content, what we now call content creation. I didn't start popping out actually getting on camera and talking to the camera like this until up around 2018. That's 9 years later. I started kind of experimenting with trying to put out, you know, talk to the camera a little bit, and it felt awkward in 2015. I started trying to do a little bit, and, you know, I did a couple videos here and there, and then I just didn't do any more. So from 2009 to 2018, basically, I was on Facebook 9 years, and then the year of 2018 is when I decided to get out that phone, cut that sucker on, and I had something to say. And, you know, I probably wouldn't have done it. I'll tell you where I got the balls. I'll tell you where that extra push, because I had been on social media for a long, long time, even by then. MySpace for years, Facebook for 9 years. a very active social media user in every other way except speaking on camera. I mean, I was bold. That's what I was saying. All that shit built up over the years. Practice, little baby steps. All that stuff adds up to who you are on camera, what you're going to do later on with a channel. Yeah, I didn't just wake up one day and open up a YouTube channel and boom, start talking to the camera and blah. No, started years and years and years and years ago, like I said. And so baby steps, doing this, doing that. And I was very active on all social media, though, as far as pictures. And back then in my late 20s and early 30s, very risque. I was into photography, and I was into, posting risque photos and fashion shoots, and making music and posting my music. And I was very outspoken. Post. I was very big on social media that way, not big as in blown up. People didn't really blow up like we think of it now. We didn't have TikTok. I'm talking in an era back before people really did blow up on social media. Now, there were YouTubers. I don't know exactly what year YouTube started, but there were YouTubers, and YouTube was certainly a thing already. But yeah, I'm talking about at a time before, when people were still kind of shy about getting on camera. Remember back then? That's when I started doing it. When really nobody was doing that on Facebook. It was an awkward thing to do. People weren't just jumping on camera like this and talking about their life, or talking about their opinions, or talking about presentations, or, that whole shit has really blown up, really just in the last few years. Yeah, because there was a time where it was mostly people, either over on YouTube, and YouTube really wasn't as big as it is now. People were not, there was no TikTok, Twitter, when Facebook first started and all that. People were not doing what we do now. It was awkward as fuck, okay? That's when I started doing it, way back then, and pushing myself. So that was an added layer. When I broke that phone out in 2018, that was me stepping it up a notch. I already done everything else there was to do, as far as photographs and posting and creations and music online and whatever. So this was stepping it up a notch for me. And it was kind of the beginning. I would see people on Instagram and here and there. It was kind of the beginning where it was starting to get more popular. People really getting on camera and talking about their life, and creating content. And but I'll tell you, it was something in my life that gave me that push. I probably never, as bold as a person as I was back then, I probably never would have had the courage, because it does feel awkward. And if you get out of the practice of it and you don't do it all the time, it'll feel awkward as hell. Just not camera. And even though we are in the day and age of that, and everybody does it basically every day now, it's no big deal. Still, if you get out of the practice of it for a while, it will feel awkward as hell, just cutting the camera on and trying to post something to the world or talk to folks. But there was something going on in my life in 2018, and it gave me that extra to just break that camera out and start talking about what I felt. And that has always been basically the only way, I know how to do it and not be super self-conscious, is to just open the camera up like I'm talking to a freaking friend and just let it rip from my soul, say what I gotta say. And I've always been really good at that. And so I started doing that on Facebook because of a situation I was in back then. And it was eating at me so much that it gave me this extra drive. So that's when I actually started on content creating on social media. And I can look back today and there are probably 1,000 videos on Facebook. That's where I started, just doing the talks, whatever was going on in my life. A lot of anger back then, a lot of chaos, a lot of things, okay? But that's kind of, I knew in the back of my mind at the same time that I was kind of doing that for a reason. I knew that that was kind of sowing seeds. I knew that social media was getting more and more popular. I knew that people were starting to create content more and more, and that this whole shit was going to blow up. I kind of knew that intuitively back then. And basically what I was doing, people didn't know that on Facebook. They didn't know that in my friends and family. It was real. It was shit I was really going through. I was being authentic. But at the same time, because a lot of people were back then, y'all know what I'm saying? I hate that shit. People who don't really live in that artistic mindset, people that don't, they didn't know back then. It wasn't as blown up in everyday life as it is now to post on social media, And a lot of times people, friends, family, distant relatives, people would be like, why are you doing that? Why are you talking on camera like that? Why do you get on camera and say all those things and post all that? Anybody ever been through that shit? Right? Because they couldn't see it. They didn't know really what was going on. They're either the older generation or whatever. So what I'm saying is, I knew deep down I was doing it for certain reasons. Not only because it was authentic, my message was authentic, and what I had to say was authentic, but I also knew that at some point, somewhere down the line, I didn't call it content creator back then, but that I was going to want to do something with video, either discussing the things I had been through in my life, either giving testimony or creating presentations. God knows the possibilities are endless. I knew that. And I knew that all those years on Facebook, those 3 or 4 years that I spent reaching out to the public, jumping on camera and talking to folks, giving people a feel of my personality, I knew that that was basically sowing seeds for many reasons. It was helping me get comfortable. Okay, this is all leading up to YouTube. So all that jumping on Facebook and just talking and getting comfortable and all the time, it's helping me get comfortable being a content creator. B, it's letting people know that I'm doing this. It's letting people get familiar with me, my tone, my attitude, my message. And I won't say necessarily building a fan base, but yes, it's kind of pulling people into that and getting them used to you being there all the time. Well, see, the older generation didn't understand that kind of shit. They didn't understand why why are you putting out 2 or 3 videos every day and you're just on this? Because when you get started, you need to get down on it. You need to flog that whole shit and get people used to you. Get them, and even if they don't like you at first, or even if they're not really into it at first, the more they see you on their feed every day, or if they do click into your message, the more you do it, they will get used to, literally, I'm telling you, human nature. They will get used to hearing your voice. They will get used to hearing your message. They will get used to hearing your thoughts on shit. And that's just kind of how it went. Because I'm like that. When I go to watch other people's videos, I have my certain people. They're not famous or anything, but I have just gotten used to them on YouTube or Facebook or wherever it is. Just average, everyday people that do what I do, and they do it consistently. They are always there. I know if I need a pick me up, they are always there. I know if they're doing it in different types of energies. I know that if I need someone to understand depression and anxiety, I know right where to go, which person to go to for that. They're always there talking about their life or their insights or their perspective. There's literally something for everyone. You know what I'm saying? So I have my set people. So that's what I knew in the back of my mind back then at first on Facebook. When I first started talking to the camera, getting to practice and building that up. I kind of knew that I was doing all of this for many, many reasons, all in one big authentic ball. It was multi-purpose, multi-dimensional. But the older folks and some folks on the outside of that, they don't know that shit about you. They won't know that. They're just looking at it like, damn, why is she posting herself every day? Why she talk to the camera so vulnerably like that? What the hell are you doing? They don't know. They don't know what you're planning. They don't know what you are becoming, what you are practicing, what you are prepping yourself for. They don't know. Okay? And let them think, honey. Let them think whatever they want to think. Bringing it back full circle to being self-conscious. All those types of thoughts can make you very self-conscious, and I can't stand self-consciousness. I don't like it. Not on me. I don't like it at all. But see, a lot of times we fear self-consciousness so much that we will jack up our ego enough to save us from being self-conscious, and people will see that and mistakenly think that it's arrogance or narcissism or histrionic or attention seeking or it's not. It's a lot of times it's just human nature. We're so desperate not to be self-conscious or perceived that way that we really got to work at it by practicing facing things that make us uncomfortable, walking through those things time and time again. But at the same time, yes, sometimes we got to kick up that ego a little bit, push it up a little bit, just enough that we won't be self-conscious, that we will carry ourselves with an air of confidence, just enough to knock the edge of nervousness off so that we can do whatever we need to do with that right energy, you see. But some people interpret that as arrogance or narcissism or big head, and they won't ever know what I just talked about and broke down for y'all. All the shit people really have to go through. And no, it's not fake. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, just some backstory and context to my journey to YouTube and my 1,000 subscriber mark, which now I'm at 2,200, and I'm so grateful for that. To me, that's a big deal, even though I would love to see it grow. Really, to me, it's not about subscribers. I mean, one day if I do have 100,000, that would be so wonderful, or even more. Wouldn't that be great? We all would love to have millions of subscribers, but more than that, I think what really counts is focusing on the content and the views that the content is getting. Not so much, because I've seen channels with 500 subscribers. I've seen channels with fewer subscribers, but that have videos that are viral, that have videos that are doing really well. So it's not so much how many subscribers you have. It's your content. Okay? And it's if some of your content, and if your content's doing well, if it's getting views, that's what matters more, Okay, so 2018, 9 years on Facebook. I finally broke out the camera and I started, and I told y'all what I did and got really comfortable talking on camera. And so damn comfortable, I mean, there were no holds barred. That's what I was known for. Vulnerability, it's all there. And a lot of times we humans are scared to be vulnerable. Oh, yeah. Why? Scared that people are going to use it against us later? I mean, what is that? Scared that they're going to know our deepest, most intimate. But the thing is, we all have it. We're all human. Even if one day, you know, it's that people a lot of times want to portray certain things and they don't want people to know the other stuff. You know, sometimes it's about people wanting to portray a fake image, or or sometimes it's not inauthentic. Sometimes it's really not meant to be faking people out. Sometimes it's just a pride thing. We really want people to think we're doing well. We don't want people to worry about us. And here comes the self-consciousness wrapped into it. So many trolls out there. Why do these trolls run the universe? They don't mean shit. They don't mean shit. Thump their asses off. They lurk in people's comment sections. Why do trolls run the universe? They don't. They're like terrorists. They want to be. That is an energy vibe running around this universe, particularly on YouTube video comment sections and around the internet. Jordan Peterson even talks about this, the trolls and how they're ruining public discourse. That is an energy going around the internet, basically making everyone else, trying to make everyone else self-conscious, trying to make you feel bad about what you do, trying to make you doubt yourself, trying to throw you off your energy balance, critiquing your videos, telling you what you should be saying and doing in your videos, attacking this, that, and the other, your looks, your voice, everything. That's what these trolls do. So I'm just thinking vulnerability, self-consciousness. A lot of times people are scared to really be themselves and really be authentic because the troll energy has gotten to people so much. And we're afraid, oh, someone might say that I'm just looking for pity. Someone might say I'm an attention seeker if I'm authentic and I tell my true story. Or if I allow myself to be truly vulnerable on camera, cry when I want to cry, sad when I want to be sad, happy and upbeat when I want to be upbeat, fancy when I want to be fancy, downtrodden when I am downtrodden, and in the fucking struggle. And it's real. Every drop of it. Some of us, most of us, aren't going to be the exact same every day, every minute. But some people do like to portray just one part of their persona because they are afraid of being ridiculed, attacked, and trolled. And even I, I'm like, damn, you need to pick one thing that you want to be on YouTube and you need to portray that all the time. Well, that's impossible because I'm a human. I'm not just one thing all the time. We humans go through shit. Things change in our life, So it's like I've never been able to niche down here on YouTube for that reason. I have way too many passions, way too many interests, way too much to my personality, and I know the algorithm, they say the algorithm really doesn't like that if you don't niche down. And sometimes I do feel kind of bad, like, oh, okay, well, I've got people that have subscribed because they love Selena Quintanilla like me, and they like the videos I do about her. And then I have other people that have subscribed because they like Gia Karanji, and they like the videos I've, tribute videos I've done to her life, her fashion, her tragic life story. Both Selena and Gia have tragic life stories. That's something they have in common. That in itself is a niche. So it's like, I feel bad sometimes because people come to my channel and subscribe for different reasons. I've got food videos, stuff that I love. I've got videos about, different people and their life stories. I've got videos about fashion. I've got videos about crime cases, the Watts case. Lots of videos about that. things that move me to speak, things I'm passionate about. I've got spiritual videos. I've got videos about sleep paralysis, for God's sake, because I have sleep paralysis. And I'm very, very into the spiritual world. So you get what I'm saying. And sometimes I feel like, damn, you know, the people that are subscribing for the Watts case, because a lot of times folks do that. I've been guilty of it. Go across YouTube and they'll watch one video from one person, one short, and yeah, I like them, subscribe. Or they'll go through, watch 2 or 3 of their shorts and, yeah, I like them, subscribe. But they really won't know in depth what that person is really all about. If their channel is entirely about that or not. What are their long form videos about? You know, so a lot of times we do end up subscribed to YouTubes that are doing things that, you know what I'm saying, that we didn't know when we first subscribed. And I know that's why they say the algorithm likes you to niche down, so that YouTube will know exactly what audience to push your shit out to. And if you've got different types of videos, it's like, yeah, I can understand that. And sometimes I do feel for the people that like, oh, well, we want more Selena videos, or, oh, well, we want more spiritual videos, or, oh, I came here because I'm interested in, you know, you talking about your childhood trauma and, you know, how your father went to prison and those videos. Different subscribers come for different things. But basically, my channel sits under this umbrella. It's not got a specific niche. But within the different types of videos that I do, they all have similarities. Yes, you will find similarities in the videos that I do, whether it's crime cases, whether it's childhood trauma. It's all generally something to do with psychology or a psychological message, something we can learn from it, or an awareness, or spiritual stuff and stuff we can learn from that, or things I'm passionate about there, and or fashion. Love that. You know, I've got a lot of different videos, but it all kind of falls under a certain umbrella. Okay? And that's just how I have to be for now. It's really hard for me to niche down. You know, and that's part of it, guys. We're going to get into the 1,000 subscriber part. That's part of it on YouTube, is finding your balance of not feeling like a sellout, but at the same time, attracting the viewers and building your channel, getting more subscribers, getting to that monetization point where everybody wants to get to, right? But at the same time, not feeling like you are basically just selling out, selling your soul, creating shit you don't even like, that you're not even remotely interested in, just to make money. Well, at that point, you might as well get a second 9 to 5, or go back to your 9 to 5, or it might as well be a job at that point instead of your creative passion. I know those balances are hard to find, yes. And people do YouTube for different reasons. Not everybody does YouTube for creative passion. Not everybody doing YouTube is doing it out of a genuine love and passion and interest and energy for the topics and the people they discuss and the images they put in their videos and the love and the art, the artistry and the creativity that they put into editing their videos, or the passion with which they speak. Not everybody comes to YouTube with that kind of passion. Some people, yeah, and I'm not knocking them. I get it. I'll tell you right now, at this minute, I wouldn't give a shit to make money if that's, you know, I wouldn't even care if it became like a job, as long as it's bringing in money. Because yes, I need money. I need to make money. And I think that'd be a great job, even if it did become more job-like. I think it'd be a fantastic job. What? Creating videos that I love? On topics that I love? But that's just the thing. A lot of people are on here jumping through hoops, jumping on trends, whatever the hell, going from video to video, catching tips on how can I hurry up and get monetized? How can I hurry up and get money? I'll try anything. I'll say anything. I'll do anything in my videos. And that's one thing I have found out. I'm not judging folks for that. It's whatever. I've tried a few things in my time too. I like trends. I do, I variate on my channel. I really do. But if you watch some of my videos, you will damn sure know that I am coming with passion. Okay? I'm coming with, I've learned this. This is point blank. If you come to YouTube to make money overnight, if you come to YouTube strictly for money, you're going to fail. You're going to get disappointed, bored, frustrated. Oh, man. I've had my channel going on 4 years. And yes, there's been a lot of dead zone in that time. There's been days where I woke up to nothing going on my channel, but those were also times where I wasn't very active and staying consistent. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting to the YouTube journey. And when I finally switched over to YouTube and opened up the channel, how I got to the 1,000 subscribers and all that. But that's a difficult balance that people are looking for, And I'm going to tell y'all, what I finally settled on. When we get into that part about how I got to the 1,000 subscribers and what I finally had to do that made sense to me that actually worked. And it was a certain balance. Okay. And it worked to a degree. It worked in a small way. I haven't had any videos that I feel like what I consider viral. Now, I watched a woman's video the other day, and she said that she considered getting 1,000 views on her videos going viral. I never thought about it that way. If that's the case, then I've got a lot of videos that have gone viral. I never thought about it that way. I thought going viral meant like 1 million views or something. 100,000, up above 100,000 views or more, up, into the high thousands, into the millions. That's what I thought going viral meant. But I guess to each their own. I don't really know. What do y'all think? But I do think that we should be proud of our accomplishments. I do think that. I think that, even the videos that get fewer views, that's something we created, And I think sometimes we forget to celebrate those things. Y'all, let me go over here and open this other car door because I'm hot. Sitting in my vehicle. They're about to come repossess it this week. Should have been gone a week ago, and I hate that. I'm really sad about it, but that's a story for a different day. It's just not a good vehicle. It broke down on me, and they can't fix it. And the bottom line is, it's just, it wasn't a good deal. It wasn't a good car deal to begin with, and it's too much for me to be paying for a car. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry. Too much for me to be paying for a car that isn't going to run well. So I'm just going to let them have it back, and I'll deal with it later. That's a whole other story. But back onto YouTube. So yeah, after about 3.5 years of steadily posting on Facebook, and just really, but see, the thing was back then, I'll tell y'all what made me lose my self-consciousness as far as speaking on camera was being pissed off. That was it. I mean, that's just the honest to God truth. I was pissed off about something that was happening in my life. and not just, no, it was and it was hurting me. It was really impacting my life. You know, there is something about anger that will kick up in your ass and make you take action. You know, I always used to say I'd rather be angry than depressed, because depression puts my ass down in the bed, in the ground. It's heavy. It's, being sad, being depressed. But if I can ever flip that shit around into getting angry, get up and get mad about it, then all of a sudden I've got all this energy and I'm taking action. But I mean all of this in the healthiest way possible, in the most positive ways possible. I don't mean it in an unhealthy, negative way, okay? So don't twist that shit around. No, anger is not healthy, but it depends on the context you put it in. Like Johnny Rotten, John Lydon, the Sex Pistols, that song Rise. Anger is an energy. Absolutely. Anger can be used as an energy, a very valuable energy, if you know what to do with it, if you know how to transmute it into a powerful, productive, useful energy. Not let anger turn to rage, off balancing, undirected, super toxic rage. All that cortisol and stress hormones shooting into your body. And that's not what I'm talking about. Oh, I love this breeze. I'm so glad it's blowing because it's so hot. Actually, today's the coolest day we've had here in Arkansas in a while. But you get what I'm saying? So always put it into context. Anger can be useful and positive if used appropriately to motivate yourself. And that's what happened to me. I didn't let it turn. When you stuff it down too long and you don't address your anger and you sit there and you pretend like nothing's wrong, or you're afraid, everybody will talk about me if I get angry and I won't be considered a nice person. Or you do that shit too long, you stuff it down, it's going to become rage. Undirected, misdirected rage that could come out at any time on any innocent person. It's going to turn to negativity and toxicity that eats your ass alive, that makes you sick, that brings about tumors. We don't want rage. We don't want anger stuffed down. We want anger transmuted. We want anger transmuted into action, into energy, useful, productive, positive energy. That's what we want. And that's what I used, that anger. That anger, I transmuted that and pushed it into being brave enough to talk on camera and create content. Or otherwise, I might have just been too shy back then to ever get started in content creation, to ever actually get on camera and start talking. Now, I had been a singer. I had been on stages. I had posted music on social media. I had been up in front of people before performing. It was more like rapping. The band that I got up with most of the time, and they would let me do a verse and jump in. It was more like a rap corps. They were a heavy metal band, but they also rapped. So it was more like that, and that was easier for me to do than get up and actually sing my vocals in front of public. I never have done that. I always recorded my singing in a studio and then posted it online. I never got really good and brave at singing in front of others, although I love singing. I love vocals. But guys, the only way that we get good at these things is to face them, walk through them, transmute the energies of fear and anger and self-consciousness into motivation. And so, yeah, that's what I did. And the anger, because I might not have done it otherwise. Even though I had done a lot of things, I probably would not have been bold enough to just whip out the camera and go, "What's up, Facebook? What's everybody doing?" But I was mad. I was pissed. And I had this energy coming behind it. And something about that anger, not rage, anger being transmuted within me into something productive made me so passionate and articulate and on point and brave and courageous and creative, and it all flowed. So you can use anger. You can use anger. You can use just about any emotion, whether it's negative or positive. Even negative ones can be used for something positive to propel your ass into something you want to do, or jump over a hurdle that you're afraid of or self-conscious about. Passions. Anger is a passion rather than something negative. It is a passion. I'm going to call it that. Anger is a passion. Just like John Broughton says, anger is an energy. Yes, anger is a passion. Ow, my ear's getting hot. So that's what got me on to speaking on camera and posting social media videos and getting comfortable with it. Not reporting on celebrities, not, just talking calmly about my day, but no, really getting on and having, that anger coming behind it and speaking about certain things. That's kind of where it all started. And I still had quite a bit of that angry energy when I started my YouTube channel. Yes. And y'all, I've moved through a lot of that now, several years later. But looking back at those early YouTube videos, oh my God. But hey, it was there, and it was that passion flowing through me. And it helped me in the early days to start my YouTube channel too. And it helped me with the content I chose and what was coming behind that, what was going on in my own life and my own emotions, and then the content that I ran across and wanted to talk about and cover and put out to the world. It all worked to my benefit and moved in this one energy, and it just came out like that. So in a lot of my early videos, you will see one of the very first things I covered on my YouTube channel is the Watts case. Not the Watts case in that way, too deep off into a lot of the details of it, but specifically defending Shanann Watts. I had fallen off into that case right around that time that I was still going through a lot of issues in my relationship. There was a lot of pain and anger there, and I learned a lot from that case. It came into my life almost like an angel, almost like it was meant for me to run across it. Shanann Watts and her story and what was going on with her and Chris, and covert narcissism. I was led to learn even more about the covert narcissistic type Chris Watts is, and so was my partner. And there was so much knowledge within the Watts case that I needed. And I became very bonded to that whole case and Shanann and the girls. Look at this shirt. See that? It says Thrive. This shirt, just so synchronistically and coincidentally, if you want to call it that, came to me right around the time that I started my YouTube channel. You will see this shirt in some of my very first videos if you were to ever go back and watch those. And at that time, when I first started my channel, I called it Dysfunctionally Functional Life with Tam Collins. Yes. I started my YouTube channel in November of 2020. I think that's the exact month, give or take. Pretty sure. Late 2020. Yeah, the year of the pandemic, that fall. And just a few weeks after I ran into the Watts case, and had connected so deeply to the energy of Shanann Watts and, learning all there was to learn about that case and other dynamics and relational dynamics and all this. At that point, my partner and I, which I went through hell with, he was a severe alcoholic, and therefore the lifestyle that we lived until he passed away, my life increasingly kind of went down and down and down. And I hate to say that because I loved him. I loved him dearly. But the lifestyle that we ended up having to live because of his alcoholism, it's very difficult living with an alcoholic. And so, there was a lot that I ended up giving up, a lot that I ended up losing. And during the year of the pandemic, we were all so freaked out. And we wanted to buy a little RV camper. And I wanted to fix it up really cute. And I wanted to do that whole camper life thing. And so that's what we did. And I was living in one of those at the time at this little park. And I opened my door one morning, several weeks after I had gotten deeply into the Watts case. I opened the door to my little camper one morning, and I'm looking out, and I'm about to take my dog out for a walk. And there's a guy standing there wearing this shirt. Thrive, right? He's in the camper across the way. But he opens his door, and I look right at him, and he's got this shirt on. It says Thrive, y'all. And you talk about freaked out. But see, that's how I'm very connected to the spirit world that way. And I was very, very connected to Shanann's energy at that time. And that's how the universe, the spirit world, that's how it all works. They be letting you know. They will let you know. Okay? And so, sorry, you guys. And so I see this shirt on this dude. And I just was kind of stunned that it said Thrive. And I said, hey, where'd you get that shirt? And it was the funniest thing. This dude didn't know me from crap, even though we were neighbors. I never met that guy. We never spoke. He's like, oh, I don't know. You want it? Pulls it, right off, right then. And I was like, really? I was like, man, I hate to take the shirt off your back, but there's sentimental reasons why I would love to have that shirt. If you're serious, yes, I will take it. And I took that shit. Took it. That's where I got it. Washed it up. And I've been wearing it ever since. This is my Shanann shirt. And it has nothing to do with, see, it's the thing. No, it's not an actual Thrive company shirt. It's not a Lavelle shirt. It's nothing to do with that. It's a Christian shirt. It has to do with 2012 DNO. What the hell? It has to do with like a Christian Bible camp or something like that. So no, it's not anything to do with Lavelle or anything like that. But still, the synchronicity of that, okay? I was literally in there recording my very earliest videos about the Watts case at that time in that camper. If you are one of my subscribers or you're brand new to my stuff, you can go back to those earliest of videos, and some of them will say Dysfunctionally Functional Life with Tam on the little thumbnail, and you'll see me in that camper, and in some of the videos you will see this shirt, and that's where I got it. And I just thought, oh my God, it gave me chills. The synchronicity of that. To me, that was no coincidence. That was like a message. It was like, all right, bet, wink, wink. I really bonded to the energy of Shanann at that time. I felt her fucking plight, her pain. Not from her life being taken and the girls, not that part of it, but so many other dynamics in that relationship and what she was having to live through, and the betrayals on top of betrayals, and just who she was as a woman. I really connected to that energy. And to me, it was just like a wink, like, okay, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm covering this case for a reason. I am defending this woman for a reason. Something I'm passionate about.
stuff that I can even relate to in my own damn life. And so that is how, those were some of the first topics that I did on my YouTube channel. I found something that would meet the balance, you guys. That balance of finding something that you actually love, that you're actually passionate about. Because when you do find that thing, it's going to come out of you. You're not going to have to think about it too much. You're not going to have to hesitate. You're not going to be self-conscious. When you actually are passionate about that subject, that person, that thing, that topic, it's going to fucking just flow out of you naturally, passionately. Whatever it is you need to say about it, whatever you want to present about it, it's going to come to you, okay? That motivation, whatever you want to create and put together about that thing, person, event, whatever. So it was that balance of finding something that I actually was passionate about, that I actually was interested in, that I could put that behind it, but at the same time, it was trending. Or I didn't know it was trending at that moment because I had really just stumbled upon that case. It took me a while of delving into it to find out how massive it really was. And this is right before the Netflix documentary was about to drop in just a few months. And so basically it was me finding that balance of, yes, something I freaking cared about talking about, but it wasn't super personal yet. Oh, I got personal in all my videos. I get personal. I don't have any shit to hide. There's no shame in it. I kind of do a mix when I'm covering other people's lives and their experiences. I kind of do a mix of my own too in certain videos. But what I'm saying is, when you're first getting on the map on YouTube, it's hard. If you're just talking about you, nobody knows you. So it is kind of hard. YouTube is a learning process. It is trial and error. And you cannot be afraid. And I had to hear people tell me the same thing. I went and I watched video after video after video, getting advice, getting the inspiration, what to do, what not to do, the tips, tricks. One thing I do know, I've got over 600 videos on my channel. You can't be afraid to fuck up. You cannot be afraid to put out bad videos. I've seen a lot of people making videos about that lately too. How bad videos will blow your channel up, or don't delete the videos that you think are bad. Don't delete them, save them, because you never know, when people are going to run across those. I've seen people making videos about this topic lately. One thing I know is that you cannot sit there and, I'm going to focus on this one video and it has to be absolute perfection. And I listened to a lot of those other creators who were like, just post. Don't be afraid. And I'm no YouTube guru by any means. I'm still struggling, honestly. I am still struggling with my channel. I feel that I am struggling at times. Absolutely. But I know this shit. I also have some videos that have done pretty well. I have a couple of videos, my Gia Karanji video, my tribute to her. I put a lot of time into looking for those photographs and putting all that together, and the editing and the music. That video has up close to 50,000 views. I'm good with that. A lot of my Shanann Watts series, 10,000 views, 12,000 views. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. The Watts case videos really took off when I first started my channel. So let me get back to that, okay? And I'll break it down step by step, a little bit more concisely about what happened on my way, how I got the 1,000 views, when I got there, what it was like to get monetized. I didn't even get to celebrate that time period in my life. I think I made it to 1,000 views. It took a while. That shit didn't happen overnight, but it didn't take forever either. You know, different people have different YouTube journeys, and yeah, there's going to be reasons why. I got monetized in April. No, it was later than that because I hit 1,000 in April of 2023. Now, ain't that some shit? To me, that's a long time. I started the channel in November of 2020. I didn't hit 1,000 until April of 2023. But I'll tell you why. I feel like I would have gotten there a lot sooner, but I had to stop creating. The chaos, the disorder, the painful relationship, and the crap going on in my life at that time, because I was in a relationship with someone who was severe alcoholic, who did not have much time left on this earth, who was dying, who was very self-destructive, who was constantly in need of my time and energy, and it was doing a number on me. And I loved him, don't get me wrong. But a lot of days he was even jealous of my YouTube channel. You know, and I love him. I still to this day love him. And I don't want to disrespect him, his memory. But he was. Sometimes he could be like a child. And he would say things like, well, you love your YouTube channel more than me. After me devoting several days in a row to nothing but him, his needs, his affection, his doctor's appointments, his everything. Then I would take a day for me, and if I would dare say, hey, you know, I'm trying to finish a video for my YouTube, he would say shit like, well, you love your YouTube channel more than me. Yeah, go work on your YouTube channel. That is the covert narcissistic type personality, and I talk about that a lot on my channel. I talk about that a lot with Chris Watts too, because I believe that was his exact personality type, very similar to my partner, and I know a lot about them, and that is what Chante Watts was having to deal with. They're very envious of you and your time and anything that you focus on that's not them, in a very childlike way. So there were reasons why I personally didn't get to my 1,000 subscribers quicker. Starting the channel in 2020 and not getting to the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time. I think I had the 4,000 hours watch time long before I got to the 1,000 subscribers. But you get what I'm saying? There's a reason why I just didn't get to post consistently. I had to fall off right when my shit was taking off, right when some of those early videos were starting to do well. I had to fall back, and it pissed me off. It hurt me. I basically had a mental breakdown for a couple years, you know, at the getting towards the end of my partner's life. Then he got diagnosed with cancer on top of all that, and all that he was putting me through and everything I was losing, and things were coming out from under me, and I just wasn't inspired to create. Didn't have time to do it. Didn't have a spot to do it anymore. And it ate me up inside. It broke me. But by God, I'm back. I'm still here, and I have not given up on this channel. One thing has been consistent. I would always get back up and try to get a video out. I would always get back up and try to go towards my passion and my goal, because of the fucking energies that tried to take that from me, that tried to distract me from it and pull me away from it. They don't care. And it wasn't fair. It wasn't right, but that's just what was happening. So yeah, it did take me a while to get to that 1,000 mark, and hell, I thought I was never going to get there. I remember when that was just a dream, getting to 1,000 subscribers. Oh, one day I'll have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. One day I'll actually be able to make a little money maybe off my actual videos that I make. You know, maybe one day I'll get to be a part of the partner program on YouTube. Won't that be something? I remember back when, yeah, and now I'm at 2,200 subscribers, but really, if it wasn't for that time in my damn life, if I could have kept going, if I could have got on my channel when I opened it in 2020, this is almost the end of 2020, almost 2021. But if I could have got down on it, y'all, and when my content started taking off, like some of those early Watts case videos, if I could have stayed on it with that same passion and that same energy, oh yeah, I feel like I really do feel like I would at least be around 5,000 subscribers right now, at least, maybe 10. And I would have gotten there a lot more quickly if I could have stayed consistent. So that is important. If you fall off for a few weeks or months, it's going to change things up with your audience and the algorithm. You can get back on. I got back on. I always got back up and got back on and didn't give up. But yeah, it'll slow you way down for sure. It's important when you see that moment, seize it, man, because that shit got taken from me. And that's what slowed me way down on my channel. But I started in November 2020, and like I say, it took me until April of 2023 when I got that notification. You have hit 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube. And then all the little green check marks that I had met all the criteria for the partner program for monetization. And, going through their whole little process, I did that in 2023, just last year. Um, but y'all, some of the very first videos I put out, I look back at that shit and I do cringe. That's natural. Am I going to delete them? Nope. Because it shows me where I was at that time. Shows me where I was living, what I was wearing, what my skin looked like, what my energy was like, what was I going through, what mistakes did I make in those videos, what were those early videos like. And sometimes people are interested in that kind of shit. Just regular old amateur, no editing. A lot of those very early videos for the first few months, no editing, no pictures, no music. But I learned quickly because I studied a while before I ever posted my first video. Again, anything you're going to do really well in life, it's going to be a process. A process. If you can't learn how to work a process in life, for many reasons, process, baby steps, preparation. Even if you don't have time to sit down and study on YouTube, but I did for years, okay? While I was going along and, making those first videos, and long before I made my first video and posted it. If I didn't have time to sit down and really study on YouTube, I drove for DoorDash for a long time. What would I listen to? YouTube podcasts, other creators, tips and tricks, do's and don'ts. I kept exposing myself to the same information, the same information, the same information. If I didn't understand what the hell they were talking about at first, it's going to be that way. It's like Greek. Like, what the fuck are they saying? I don't understand. Oh, this is way too complicated. Just keep playing it. Surround yourself. Immerse yourself in the culture, in the terminology. Let it play. Let it play. Soak it in. I did that forever, for at least a couple years straight. Before I created my first video and after I started to create, I would listen. And I still to this day have times where I will take in the knowledge of other creators or good advice about continuing to grow on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But a process. It was a freaking process for sure. Like they say. Started from scratch. I made those very first videos. I've changed my name a couple times. Just going through trial and error, not being afraid to try things. Go with what you feel. Not it's a slow process of learning. learning to change your banner, learning to create thumbnails and make them look better, learning to put tags, learning to write your descriptions, learning. It is a learning process. And you cannot be afraid to just get on with that first video and keep on. Create. I mean, you don't have to necessarily do everything that's in your head if you think, well, that's going to be crappy. Nobody's going to be interested. Find that balance, though, but don't let that hold you back either. If it's something you're passionate about and you feel strongly about it, post it. Get it on to the video. Get it posted. Just do it. Learn from that. Keep posting and keep posting. Getting better and better each time. More and more comfortable each time. That's kind of how it first started with me. And the first 2 or 3 videos were about me personally. That was kind of my introduction. I didn't just go straight into talking about other people because I knew this channel was gonna be a mix of about my personal life, how I grew up, my testimony, and a mix of other people's life stories and people that I admire, or crime cases, or people I'm passionate about, or whatnot, tragedies, or whatever, fashion, beauty, whatever. I knew it was going to be a mix. So my introductory videos, they were about me personally. Dysfunctionally functional life and why I called it that. How my testimony, how I grew up, how I feel about things. And then immediately after that, some of my very earliest of videos were covering the Watts case. But with that, as I explained, I found something that I was so passionate about and interested in, and it just made the heart thump and the ideas flow and the motivation was there about this case, about these people. I truly felt it, okay? Or I wouldn't have used it. I wouldn't have fucking posted about it because back then I wasn't even monetized, and back then I didn't know how long it was going to be before I ever did get monetized. So when I first started, it wasn't about that. It was about making sure I could find the balance of speaking on something that was of my heart, that I was authentically coming from a certain place, that it meant something to me, and at the same time, it would be something that others would definitely be interested in. It would either be trending or evergreen, and you've heard about evergreen content. Evergreen content is something that kind of will always be popular. People will kind of always be searching for it. Never grows old. Um, Not necessarily just like the thing of the moment and everybody's over that and nobody's searching for that anymore, like trending. But more evergreen content is stuff that people will kind of always be taking and interested in. And crime stories, well, people are always going to be interested in what happened to so and so and what happened in that case, and blah blah blah. So you kind of have to be smart about that. And that's kind of what I did when first starting the channel. After introducing myself and those videos about me, I kind of didn't waste no time getting right off into a case that I knew everybody was interested in. And I knew everybody was passionate about it. And by God, I was passionate about it. And I was passionate about defending that woman who has a whole set of people that bash her and smear her name and character. And I had something to fucking say about it. And I used that. Yes. On purpose. Because I did care about it and it was authentic. And I also knew at the same time other people did too. And that they would want to hear it. They would want to see it. So that's that balance I had to find. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, those videos Those videos took off. And I won't say took off, because to me, take off is like 100,000 views or freaking a million views. But those videos, many of them performed very well. They took off. That's what kind of got my channel to take off. And I had to learn pretty quickly when I was covering the Watts case, and I'm still covering it to this day because it's such a big case and it's something that so many of us are passionate about, and there's so many different elements to it. But when I first started in the defending Shanann videos, I had to learn pretty quickly. Well, you can't just sit here, and you can, but you don't want to do that in every one of them. You want to learn to edit. You want to learn to give the viewer something to look at. Give them a picture of Shanann. Give them a picture every once in a while. Put a little music on here. You want to learn, because I have a creative personality type. That's fun to me. I want to learn all there is to learn about editing, and that's fascinating to me because creativity is my life anyway. But I'm just like, okay, if I'm going to do this news reporting type, if I'm going to do this talk to the camera kind of thing, because I'm generally a creative person, kind of behind the scenes. And I mean, I don't mind being bold and I don't mind posting and all that, but I told you how it was for me at first as far as just talking to the camera. So I'm like, well, hell, if I'm going to do it, my video certainly isn't going to be bland, and I just look at it that way. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of videos where I'm just sitting and talking to the camera. No editing, no flash, no music, no pictures. And that minimalism is popular now. People sometimes like it. They like raw, authentic, feeling like they're talking to a friend. Tired of all the flash. I know that's been very popular lately. People saying, and that's kind of contradicted too, what's going on here on YouTube. I'll talk about that towards the end. The whole mixed messages that we get about how to create our content, and I just have to come to the conclusion that authentic's always best. Do what you do. Do what you want to do. Because really there is no proven strategy. So yeah, in those early videos, that's what gave my channel a boost, is finding something that I had that much passion about. And I really didn't expect the response that they got. It was massive to me. It wasn't like 100,000 or anything like that, but yeah, getting 10 or 12,000 views, waking up to your view count steadily rising in the hundreds every day, and your subscriber count steadily rising into the hundreds every day, that was massive to me. I did not expect that. Okay? I expected people to be interested in her, in that topic, but I was still really new to the case myself, still studying, and so I did not know what I know now about that case and how massive it was. But yes, in the beginning, that is what gave my channel the increase. And that's kind of how it was. I think I did a 7-part series with those early Watts videos entitled Stop Bashing Shanann Watts. And they're all in yellow. I put them in bright yellow thumbnail, beautiful photographs of her. I put a lot into them. But the main thing that was in them was authentic passion coming across in the video to the audience about this woman. And so for me, that's that balance. I got lucky. I found something that I could feel that way about, but at the same time that other people would be interested in as well. And because of that, and because of the fact that I do periodically cover that case and have things to share about it and say about it and insight to give and whatnot, yes, people began subscribing. Okay. And so, that's kind of the answer to the question of how did I get, part of my journey to the 1,000 subscribers. I will certainly say those early videos that I was very passionate about. See, my energy has changed since then, though. I told y'all about after that how I had to kind of fall off, and my self-consciousness and my confidence sank, and all that I was going through in life, and all that stuff. And it was really hard, y'all, to find my way back and find that same gusto and passion that I had in those videos back then. Well, I'm not in that place anymore. My partner's passed away. I'm not going through the same things I was going through energetically back then. I still have the same passion for that case and that woman and defending her, but the energy is just different on me now. So, you know what I'm saying? But don't worry, I'm finding my way back energetically. It won't be that same anger that was propelling me back then. But nonetheless, I am finding my way back to my authentic energy that was stolen from me, taken from me for so long. And I was held down for so long, battling and suffering and crawling my way back up. It was a lot. But yeah, so, that's kind of part of my journey to the 1,000 subscribers. I think it probably would have taken a lot longer. I don't ever want to discourage people from being authentic. But what I'm trying to say is I found a way to be authentic with something that was trending at the same time. See what I'm saying? People need to understand those types of balances and nuances and subtle mixes, okay? It's not one or the other. You don't have to be one extreme or the other. I never want to encourage people not to be authentic, but I personally feel like for me, my videos, I feel like it probably would have taken me a lot longer if, say, I had decided to niche down and I just started my channel and it was only going to be about me. And one thing like PMS or PTSD or my violent childhood and what my father did to me, which those videos are on here. Those videos have done well. Some of them have gotten, I think, up 18,000 views, maybe. Not too bad. They were hard to make. They were very vulnerable, and I've got to go back and finish that series at some point. I did not start the channel with those, though. No, those came later. Okay. I've always known since I was born onto this earth that I was going to do that. I'll put it that way. For people that want to mock that or saying people are attention seeking or whatnot, I know we are now in the day and age where everybody and their mama shares their life history and everybody can grab up a phone and do this and that. I knew as a child, and I'm almost 50, I knew before social media was ever heard of that I was going to use my testimony somehow, that I was going to do something on this earth to help others, to share with others, to make others aware, to speak out with my own childhood trauma, not only the story of it, the testimony of it, but the energy that came through me as a result of it. That motivation, that drive to survive, to overcome. I knew long years before there was ever a YouTube, before there was ever a Facebook, a MySpace, a social media at all, a TikTok, clock, whatever. I knew as a child that I was going to eventually do something with all of that, that I was going to speak, that I was going to create. So this has been something that's, been me talking about my childhood. It's not a big deal to me. for people that come along and want to talk shit about that. But I feel like for those wondering about getting their channel going and getting on to their 1,000 subscribers and 4K watch hours and monetization, I feel like personally, if I had just left it at me and my childhood, I feel like, yes, it would have taken me a lot longer to get to the 1,000, even though it took me 2 years. Or was it 3? November 2020 to April 23. And I told y'all why. It would have happened a lot faster if I had stayed consistent. But I feel like I might still be 4 years later. I'm at 2,200 subscribers right now. And this is because with me taking weeks and weeks and sometimes a couple of months of not posting, of not getting to create and falling off. That's why there's gaps. Or I feel like I would be a lot farther along. But I feel like if I had just left it on me personally, or nobody really knows me yet, even though people were used to me doing videos on Facebook, Facebook does not give you good reach. That's why I don't give two shits about making videos on Facebook anymore. They do not give you any reach in their algorithm. They won't even show it to your friends and family. They might show it to a couple of people. But I feel like had I not chosen another subject to mix in with my videos about my life and kind of, make it about different things, I kind of feel like I'm still might not be at 1,000 subscribers 4 years later. That's just my thoughts and feelings on it. I feel like if I had not found something that was a popular case, that was very dear to people's hearts and very moving to them, very triggering to people, had I not found something like that and put my own passion into it to do along with the videos about my life and other videos, I feel like it would have taken me longer to get to 1,000 subscribers and to get those watch hours. Yes, that's how I personally feel. But that's not me saying don't tell your authentic stories. That's not me telling you not to be you, because I keep it real all day. I've got lots of those videos on my channel where it is just about me and what I want to say and what happened in my life. And, I'm going to do that regardless of what the algorithm says or not, regardless. I always recommend somebody be authentic. But at the same time, I'm telling you that it's also good if you can find something that you're passionate about to talk about, that you love to present, to mix in with your stuff. I'm just saying what happened to my channel and how that kind of worked out for me. That is what gave my channel that big boost in the very beginning and got me closer faster to my 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time. Even though it did take me the time it took when I was making those videos. I wish I could see that. It's not like that now on my channel. Nope, not at all. But back then, yes. 7 parts I made to that Shanann watch. Leave Shanann alone. Or it was Stop Bashing Shanann. And people commented and they watched and they subscribed. And every day I woke up, there would be hundreds more subscribers and, 10 or 15 more comments, to the where just now getting to go back and read some of those comments and actually answer them, because there was so much going on in my life back then and all the distractions. And, that was just a little tiny taste of blowing up for me. I guess you could call that it blew up for a minute. That's what that means. It did blow up for a bit. And yeah, it gets hard to keep up with. You can't possibly read every comment and answer every comment and if you've got 7 videos that are like that. But yeah, I made a 7-part series, and that's what it was like back then. I woke up to that, and it was nice, and I appreciated it, and I meant it. I was coming from an authentic place, and I was glad to be doing something that I took pride in, that I felt good about doing, and getting to put creative work into it, and photos and music, and something I created from the heart. But my channel wasn't monetized back then, so I didn't make anything off that. It was what it was. I didn't get monetized till later on. But it certainly helped my reach. It certainly helped my subscriber count. And, it let people know I'm passionate about this case. This is who I am. This is what my channel's about. It's part of what it's about. And here we go. So, yeah, that was part of my journey, you guys. Let me see who all I got on here. Hey, bye, Pamela. Have a wonderful day, says Weary Bunny. Hey, Fernanda. Fernanda. Hi, thank you. Send me a greeting. Fernanda. Chick-fil-A or have in the box. I want some Chick-fil-A. God, now that you said that, I'm going to have to stop streaming and go eat. I'm starving. It's been a long stream today, but it's a good one. I feel good about this one. I feel like I got some stuff off my chest, and I said some important. Y'all would not believe what just flew right through my car. It wasn't a bird, but it was as big as a fucking bird. It was like a huge bee. But I feel good about this, and I thank everybody who came by and said hello. I know I haven't gotten really good at interacting with people commenting yet because I'm scared I'll lose my train of thought, and I'm still kind of awkward about that. I don't want people to get mad at me when I have to sit there and go, what was I saying? And I'm scared if I interact too much in the comments that I will lose that vibe, that flow. Have y'all seen my video about the flow zone? Channeling that energy from spirit? Okay, it's on my channel. But thank you for everyone that stopped by to say hello to me. Here we go again. Hi, I have a question. Are you still here, Caesar? What's your question? Shawnee says, you so energy. Need calm rather than not drive car. Shawnee, come on. All right, look. Do I look like I'm in the driver's seat of my car? The driver's seat's over there. I'm sitting in the passenger seat of my car, and it's a nice breezy day, and I'm sitting out here because I live in a small apartment with my mother right now, and I don't have room to film in there. It's not very private. And today is probably the last day I'm going to have this car. I don't know. They're supposed to come pick it up. It's getting repossessed because it's broken and they can't fix it. And I can't afford the sales tax on it. That's just the story on that. And it's been having me really, really down. But it's too hard to come up with the $1,500 sales tax that I need to license this damn thing. And the payments, it's really just not a good car company all the way around. It's kind of a bad deal. So I'm letting it go back, and God willing, I know God provides. I will be manifesting and putting out effort and doing all I need to do to be getting another vehicle soon, God willing. Because right now, as it stands, I am trapped without a car again. Yep. And I know some of y'all have seen my videos about my little moped. My little yellow moped was stolen, y'all. I wanted to keep that as a backup. So yeah, it's back to square one now. And I know I've posted videos about the good times when things come full circle and you you've gotten back on that horse and you didn't give up, and the good things that can come to you, because they can. And I worked hard for this shit. And I got up off the ground where I was at, hurting for a long time. And I made this happen. This SUV that I'm returning, that I'm letting go back. I made all that happen, and I can do it again. And so can you. But shit happens sometimes, y'all. These eclipses come through, and every time an eclipse happens and comes through, it completely rips me off the old timeline and onto a brand new timeline. And it does away with anything that is in my way. Even if it's the good stuff, even if it's the stuff that I think I need to be keeping or having. And I think there's a reason for that, because there was something else I needed to be focused on these last 2 weeks. That everything got pushed out of my way, and I'm kind of just back in my room and kind of stuck there. I know it sucks. It sucks. But I think there's a reason for it. And I've been working on it. So that's that. To answer the question about, driving the car. I'm not driving, I promise you. This car isn't running right now. But I love it, and I'm going to miss it. It was really nice. It's a really nice SUV. It's used. It's a 2015 Ford Edge. And, I just hope and pray that I'll be able to get right back on that horse and get things right back together again. And this time with a better car company and one that will actually run good with a lower car note. And this time, a company that finances sales tax. Because it's hard as hell to come up with those massive sales tax payments to get tags on the damn vehicles. I hope they do away with sales tax eventually. It's ridiculous. Right? Bobby Black, what I'm supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Bobby, when I was in high school, I got pantsed, and everyone said it looked like a bush with a piece of chewed gum. Did I just read that? Okay, Bobby, thank you for sharing. PNW Lens says, can we talk about how voting left or right is equivalent to being kicked in either the left or right testicle? It's a lose-lose situation. Juan says hello. That's my Chihuahua's name. Well, it's not Juan. My Chihuahua's name is Booker because my son named him Booker after a street. So I wanted to name him Hector. So I call him both Booker and Hector. Just for those who might be confused. I do have a lot of videos of my Chihuahua on my channel too. But his full name is Booker Hector Juan Carlos Esteban Valentin. That's my Chihuahua's name. And his country name is Bookerdale. Sing a song, baby. Wayne. I might do that. Maybe on my next live stream I'll sing. Would you guys watch? Would you guys tune in if I did if I sang on my live stream? Want me to sing a song? Oh, I love to sing, baby. I love to sing. And I just love, I love watching other vocalists. It just, makes me think of one of my favorite Selena performances is when she performs Si Una Vez live. And she's got the whole, the beautiful dress and her energy and her body language in that performance and her vocal Man, just how she brings it. And tú que crías? Please forgive my Spanish. Tú que crías? And I've been asking, what the hell does that mean? Translate. I haven't looked it up to translate it yet. I used to do that 20 years ago when my kids were in diapers, when I first started listening to Selena and her album. And we would come across the ones in Spanish, Como la Flor and Amor Prohibido, and so many of them. And I literally have my kids singing Como la Flor in diapers. My kids are almost 30 now. And I would sit there back then, take the time. Back then we had to go to the library. We did not have internet on the phone. We didn't have these little phones. I would have to go to the library to look up lyric translations and things like that. But back then I would take time to translate the lyrics, and I still do. A lot of music to this day I will look up and translate the lyrics. But hearing Selena's vocals back then, my kids and that helped me so much. I learned a lot of Spanish back then, and I learned how to pronounce it by listening to her music and her lyrics. So listening to the music is an excellent way to pick up on a language. But Tú que crías, that song, I love that one. I love so many of her damn songs. But the way she performs that one, God, with the energy that comes through in that song and her live performances of it, I don't even know what it means. That makes me feel bad. Tú que crías. Does anybody know what that means? My Spanish-speaking audience? Tú que crías. The Selena song. Tú, I know tú is you. Que, what? Why? Why you? Why do you? I can't translate it off the top of my head. Tú que crías. You? What do you? Why do you? Crías. I don't know. I'm going to look it up later. And as long as I've been loving that song, why the hell I've never looked up the lyrics and title. I just listen to it, but I'd really like to know. But most of the time, I do look stuff up. I've looked up so much of her stuff in the past. What's that other band? Rammstein. I'm a Rammstein fan. My musical taste is all over the map, y'all, so don't even. But Rammstein had a song one time called Spring, and it's all in German, and it's badass. But I don't know German, so yeah, I had to look up all the lyrics. I listen to a lot of music in other languages, and I won't always know what they're saying. I don't always stop and look up and read word for word while they're performing. There's a lot of times I put on music in other languages in the background, and I don't look it up. I just listen. Love it. I always have. And it's weird. Sometimes I think some of that stuff comes from a past life influence or something. I do think that way. But it's weird. I've had people around me in the past, and it bothered them. It annoyed them, me listening to music in other languages and them having to listen to, and I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I can see people getting irritated if they don't know what something means, or they can't understand the words, that they would be annoyed and not want to hear it. But at the same time, I don't understand, because I'm just that passionate. It's an energy to me, even if I don't know what the words are saying sometimes, which I am a person who, yes, wants to take the time to know what the message is and what the song is about. But sometimes if I'm just busy working or whatever, it's a whole energy vibe to me. Just their voice, the vocal, the way they get the words out, the music. There's so much more that goes on in a song than just knowing exactly what they're saying. But yeah, I get it. I used to annoy the shit out of people with that because I love a lot of different music in other languages. I love films, foreign films. Maybe I'll sing for you guys sometime. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to wrap it up with the hola. Gaston Maximiliano Ramos says, hola, hermosa. Again, forgive my Spanish. Salud, Selena, from Argentina. Hey. Hola, Tiziano. Hola, soy. Hi, I am Tiziano. Okay. Hello there, Tiziano. Hi, I have a question. Here we go again. Hello, your shirt pretty. Vivek Art. You like my Thrive shirt? Thank you. It's very meaningful. JC 2022. Okay, you are also Juan? That's a different Juan from Colombia. Well, hello. Nice to have you. Hey, thank you all, seriously, for stopping in. Thank you for participating. Thank you for checking out my live. And I really hope that somebody somewhere has gotten some value out of this today or something out of it. And to wrap it up, because I am getting hungry, my Selena fans, check out my new Selena video that I just put up yesterday. It's all about Selena's lovely earring collection, and it was so much fun to make. But yeah, so my journey to 1,000 subscribers, I hit 1,000 subscribers last April 23. I kind of explained to you guys what I did in the beginning and how I got there and what kind of gave me the boost. But I never went too long without posting. I will say that. So my subscribers, even when it did calm down after, that Chante Wait series and things calmed down a bit, even when it did calm down, then following that up, I made another video about someone I'm equally as passionate about, Gia Karanji. That has my highest view count to this day at like 45,000, something like that. Wasn't monetized back then though, so it has not been monetized all that time. I wish it had. But I didn't ever go too long without posting. You know what I'm saying? Like 6 months or no shit like that. Ever since I've started the channel. Even though things calmed down, I still kept creating videos. I had some months where I created my little heart out and posted a lot. And then I had a month or two where I would fall off a little bit. But I would always come back within a certain amount of time and keep posting. And so, yes, even though my traction died down, it wasn't like hundreds every day like it was in the beginning with the Chante Wait videos. I have still seen an increase in subscribers, even when I'm working a lot. Like, last month before that, I was working a whole lot, and I didn't really have time to create as many shorts or as many videos. And I would still notice, though, that my subscriber count was climbing. That I'm still getting subscribers, and it would be from my shorts a lot of the time. So, I don't think there's any one proven strategy. People see your shorts, they subscribe if they like your energy, or if they like the topic you're talking about, or they like the person you're posting about. Sometimes I do green screens here and there, and that is a whole other subject. People arguing about green screen and people not even knowing what fair use is across the internet. That was kind of how, I put that in the title. I was going to wrap up the video with kind of the debates and the arguments that go on YouTube about types of videos that are being made and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. If you're just tuning in, you'll have to go back and watch the replay of this live. I have discussed my journey to 1,000 followers because people are discussing that now quite a bit. I see those people making videos on that lately, so I thought I would too. I'm talking about a lot of different things. My journey to the 1,000 subscribers, my energy, what I was doing back then, what I put into it, what helped to boost my channel, the balances I've kind of had to find. But don't get me wrong, guys. There are ups and downs with this YouTube channel shit. There are ups and downs. There are good times where it's flowing good, and then there are definite dead zones and drop-off points. All right, so I've talked about getting to the 1,000 subscribers, or at least, that's pretty much what I have to say about that for now. And I want to talk about I've talked about evergreen content. Oh, yeah, the confusion. There is confusion with people. One, on green screen material and fair use. And confusion also on, is less really more? A lot of people will tell you less is more. People are now wanting to see videos just like this. Less editing, less flash. People are tired. They're burned out on all that. They want to see raw, simple, unique, one-on-one content. They want to feel like a friend is talking to them or in the room with them. I agree. I agree with that because I like a lot of videos like that where they just cut to the chase, tell me what I need to know. I'm not even watching. I'm cleaning my house. So how am I going to see their visual effects? I'm not. I get it. There are a lot of people, and that I make videos for people like that too. People who are like me, who like to cut on a video and they need it to at least be 45 minutes to an hour. So they can go on and get busy with what they're doing, and they don't have to worry about looking for another video. They don't have to worry about, oh, it's going to cut off in 5 minutes. I got to find something else to watch or hear. I also make videos like that linked. So I get it. I think doing you, being authentic to you, whatever that is, whether it's simple or whether it's flashy, I think personally doing some of both is nice. I like to do it all. That's just me. But yeah, people say that minimal is better now. I can see that. Where if you are a person who mostly wants to listen to YouTube while you're driving, while you're working at home cleaning, while you're at work, whatever, and you don't have time to watch all their editing, you don't have time to see the photos they put in it, then I get it. It's good to make videos for people like that who just want to hear your voice. They want to hear you talk. They want to hear your message. Okay. But at the same time, it's kind of hard unless your title is super catchy. It's kind of hard without some kind of eye-catching flash, either a catchy thumbnail, a bright, quirky, interesting thumbnail picture, or a really clever title. It's kind of hard to attract attention to the video. You see what I'm saying? If we just kept it super, super minimal all the time, where it's just, oh, hey, it's a picture of me in my car and you don't really know me, and I just put a title on there, me discussing blah, and that's the thumbnail, that's the title. It's super minimal. Even though you might enjoy what I have to say, what's going to draw you in? A lot of times people will just scroll right on by that. You know what I'm saying? If there's not a flashy thumbnail or a super catchy title of some kind or a topic that they are just really, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get it. People have trouble finding these balances. And so I feel like I like to do some of both. I have some videos on my channel that are just very minimal, just me, my picture, regular title, a couple of tags, me just talking. And then I also have videos on my channel that I have put a lot of time into editing and creating, mainly because I love to create. Because if you don't, and you're just doing it for money, and you're waiting, and you're like, I'm going to put all this work into this video because I'm going to get paid, you're going to be highly disappointed at first, okay? It doesn't come like that, just like that. And the thing is, you're going to fade out before you ever make the money. You're going to fade out. If you're not putting the time and energy, and the whole time you're creating those videos, you're having fun. That's like something you're super passionate about the whole time. Like me, for instance, if I'm going to create a video about Selena, who I love, or Gia Karanji, who I love, I'm working on one about Keanu Reeves right now, who I love, Shanann Watts, who I really love and admire, and I'm very passionate about different aspects of these people's lives or whatever, or any subject I begin to talk about. I literally enjoy the process of making their video from A to Z, starting with going over to wherever I'm going to go to find their photographs and collecting all the beautiful photographs of them, and, you know, brainstorming my ideas and my content, and, you know, making sure of how I'm going to set the video up, making sure everything falls under fair use. We need to talk about that before I close this out. The green screen shit, repurposing content, reusing other people's content, and fair use. But I enjoy the process, even though it's long. Some of my videos I put a long amount of hours and time into, but I'm passionate. I enjoy that creative because I'm a creative human. I enjoy finding all the photos and then getting them over to my video maker, and I enjoy all of the video editing process and just the whole entire setup, you know? Not just, okay, well, I've got to do all these things to this video because it's going to make me a lot of money, and I'm going to, you know, if you go into it for that reason, and you don't care anything about it, you don't enjoy video editing, you don't enjoy looking at those pictures and doing deep dives into the people's life stories. Biographies are my favorite genre. I have always been super passionately obsessed with people's life stories. So I'm just saying, if you're going into something and you're not really, and you're putting a lot of time, and burnout point into the work, and you don't really enjoy it and you're not really passionate about it, a lot of times you're going to burn out on it. Fuck that car. Sorry, y'all. Obnoxious motherfuckers. A lot of times you are going to burn out on that before you get to the money, before you get monetized, before you see. So try to make sure that you're picking something that you kind of enjoy doing, or talking about or discussing, so that, you know, it's more fun if it's a passion, you know, because I've heard a lot of people say, well, you might as well go on and leave YouTube if you don't enjoy video editing and you don't enjoy, you know, putting things together and speaking, and you're not at least passionate about some elements of the YouTube process, because you're going to be so frustrated, you know. um just find something within there. I know you can do that. Find something within it all that you can be passionate about, because I'm just being real. No, the money doesn't come overnight. And for me, I'm only at 2,200 subscribers. You know, I know people are making videos these days about, well, I'm only at this many subscribers and I've made this much money. And a lot of that shit is just gimmicky bullshit. Now, don't get me wrong. There are small channels out there, 500, 1,000, 1,500 subscribers, 2,000 like me, that are making bank because their videos are viral, like really viral, like up above 50K and 100K views and 500K views and 1,000,000 views. At that point, it doesn't matter if you're a big channel or not. It's all about the views, baby. So don't get me wrong, there's money to be made, but there's also things you have to know. Like with me being at 2,200 subscribers right now and me being monetized last year, since I got monetized last year, I personally have only had 2 $100 paychecks from YouTube. That's it. Yeah. I was paid, I don't know, 6 months ago. I crossed the $100 threshold at that point, and then I think 3 or 4 months right before that, I had crossed the $100 threshold. And they sent me right into my bank account that $100 each time. That's it. So I'm just being real with y'all. Most of the time, YouTube is not an easy process, and it's not happening overnight, but it does happen. That's real money, and it's nothing to scoff at. That's an extra $100, $200 total that I didn't have, that I got straight into my bank account. It became passive income, which is what we want, right? That's why I keep going. That's why I don't get discouraged when I don't see money overnight. I just keep going, trying to create valuable, passionate, evergreen content as much as I can and keep it to where I enjoy it and a balance of hopefully my viewers will enjoy some of it too. And I keep going because I know that money is going to keep growing over time as I do more and more videos. And I've already got a lot of videos. It takes patience and time, but that money became passive income, you see, and here's how. That's what we want. That's why I wanted to do that shit years ago, and I got blown off track, and it made me very angry and upset. I wanted to do it when I was 40, but I couldn't start then. I had someone in my life who needed me. He needed all of my time and attention. He was very, very sick. So I had to put off starting my YouTube channel for several years. But this was all, I told y'all earlier in the live, it was all seeds starting way back on MySpace and Facebook. A process that I built up and up to. And I knew, even 8 years ago when I was 40, as I was getting out of my 30s, I wanted to wean off of 9 to 5, which for me was restaurant work. I do have an associate's degree. I've got the story of how I went back to college in my 30s and I was able to get my associates after being a literal junior high school dropout because of my traumatic childhood, not having a high school diploma, not having a GED, but still got to go in to the associate's degree program and complete that. That video is on my channel. But I wanted to wean off. This was fucking 10 years ago. I wanted to get on it early in my 30s. Not now, not having to be struggling now like I'm still kind of struggling at 48. I had these intuitions in my late 30s, 36, 37 years old. I started thinking, okay, I'm going to slowly but practically. People didn't know this about me. They didn't know these plans and thought, but I knew where the world of social media was going to go, like I said earlier. And I thought, I'm going to slowly and practically wean myself off of my day job type shit. I had a house cleaning business and I worked for DoorDash. And I drove for Uber for a while. I'm going to get off into self-employment, which is what I want to do, and there's many reasons for it, because it's going to enable me to do what I really want to do, what my real goal in this life is, and the stuff that I've intuitively known since birth, since childhood. Didn't know what, didn't know when, but the stuff that I've always intuitively known that I was going to create and do and speak. Moving over into self-employment and gig work will enable me the time and energy, space to work on my creative endeavors, my YouTube channel, my social media stuff, speaking, spreading awareness, content creating, possibly writing a book, all of these things that I was planning literally years ago. I got knocked off of it. But I wanted to slowly venture into that so that, you see what I'm saying? So that while working my day job or while working a regular job, even self-employed, I could be setting up my passive income for my 50s. See what I'm saying? That's how that goes. So this is something I was intuitively feeling and thinking about 10, 12 years ago. This is nothing new to me, these thoughts, these plans. People talk about that kind of shit all over YouTube now, but I mean, yeah, it makes sense. But that, to me, that's old school. That's old news, old plans. I wanted to get on that right when all this shit first started and do it the right way, and I didn't get to. That's the responsible way to do it. That's the more practical way to do it, is to wean yourself, of course, out of your day job. Move into self-employment. But don't be so covered up with self-employment because you want time for your creative passions that are eventually going to lead you to your passive income. So, what I'm saying is, YouTube is passive income. It's not passive at first, though. We put work into this shit. And some of us more than others, but we put work into it. That Selena video, that 6 minute. Now, I've got hour-long videos that I didn't put a bit of work into. I just turned the camera on and posted it. That's it. But that Selena video that I posted yesterday, it's a 6 minute video. That's unheard of for me because usually my videos are 45 minutes to an hour. It's a 6 minute video tribute to her earring collection. Beautiful editing, and I just had so much fun with it. But that was part of it. That's why it took me so long. That video, I worked on that video for 12 hours. Taking breaks, of course, but 12 hours straight. From the searching for the photos, to the editing, to the, doing a little more reading and understanding of her life and her earring collections and falling off into this and that info, and then getting it pulled up in the video editor, and the music I wanted to select, which you're only limited on long form video unless you have a license and a copyright. On long form video, you can't use popular music. You can only use what's in the YouTube audio library under free. And you better look carefully even then, because some of them say after a certain time, this license will run out or whatever. But you want to look for the free shit that's Creative Commons. Just saying, we put work into this shit. That 6 minute video, I put a lot of time and energy into, but it was also because I was having fun with that. That's my passion, making the beautiful transitions of her and finding just the right photos to make the points I wanted to make, putting any text in there that I wanted to put in it, music and just the right stuff that I wanted to do, how I wanted to express it and how I thought others would enjoy it too. We put work in. So some people might say, well, this isn't passive income. We work our asses off on YouTube. That is true to a degree. We do. But what I'm saying is, in my perspective, you're going to put that work in up front, that one time. And yes, you will keep doing that for many of your videos. You will put the work in. But once you're done with that one video, there's a guy on YouTube, he's a YouTube coach. And I wish I could find him again, because he breaks all this down so well about your YouTube videos being sort of like insurance policies that make money while you sleep. And man, he broke it down so good. I wish I could find his name again. I'm going to try to find him again. So that's the thing. You do these videos, and yeah, you can look at it that way. Like we do put work into them. But also at the same time, once we're done with that one video, we're done. We put all that work in and we're done with that. And that video sits there. Depending now, here's another thing people don't know they need to think about. Depending on how much advertisers are going to want to pay. They call it RPMs or and CPMs and RPM. I still need more study on that kind of stuff, but I do look at my analytics. I have different videos, long form, that make different types of money. I have videos that, and I don't know the answer why. Some of my long form videos, the advertisers are paying me more per 1,000 views than my other long form videos that I thought were better videos. So I'm still learning about that, okay? But once you get that one video done, depending on how much they pay you per 1,000 views, that is money you're making while you sleep. That is passive income. And I go on to keep making more of them. I am not making a lot of money at this YouTube right now. No, I'm not. I find it hard to cross that $100 threshold. You have to have $100 in there. Because of the times I told you where I lapsed off of my YouTube and I wasn't consistent and it screwed up my shit with the algorithms. But again, this is still money. I don't care if they're just making cents per video. That is still money I'm making while I sleep. After I put the initial hard work into it, it's still sitting there making money from advertisers as I sleep. Shorts make, I don't think you earn as much for the shorts per 1,000. But they are good for driving traffic to your long forms. Letting people know, hey, I just put out a new long form video, or attracting people to you and your personality, and hopefully driving traffic to your long forms. Hopefully they'll like you enough or some of your stuff enough to check out some of your long form video. So that's what that's more about than it's about pay, but yeah, that's the whole setup to me, is that I wanted, and now here I am almost 50. Crap, it's like shit. I wanted to start this right before 40, and I didn't get to. So that eventually, and I know it seems slow. Again, you've got to have patience. What the fuck is going on here? Hey.
I'm so sorry. I was parking my stuff right there. Waiting on my friend to come. Never showed up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was sitting on the porch just trying to wait on him. He said he was coming in 15 minutes, but he never showed.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, man. I just didn't know who you were. My mom lives over there.
Oh, that's fine. I know your mom. I speak to her every single day.
Oh, okay.
When I come past here.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hope your rod shows up.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Sorry, y'all. I'm about to close off of here. But, I still have a few more things to say about this whole YouTube journey. People call it their YouTube journey, so I'm calling it that too. But people are making videos about that currently. It seems to be trending on YouTube, how they got to 1,000 subscribers and their journey. And I will probably make another video about my 1,000 subscriber journey, much shorter than this, and not do it on live stream. But I did it on live today, and I told y'all why when I first started. Because I don't have any storage space on my phone. It's too filled with content right now. But that's the whole goal. I wanted to start when I was 40. And I wanted to continue working, cleaning houses, or my self-employment, my DoorDash work. Freaking love working for DoorDash, man. That's a whole other story. And I can't work for them right now. I had to stop again because of the car situation. Anyway, I wanted to be responsible and practical while I was doing my regular jobs, build up my YouTube channel, my creative projects, whatever those were going to be, whether it was working on writing a book, an ebook, whatever, and my YouTube channel stuff, and let that slowly sit there and grow over time and turn into good and decent passive income by the time I was 50. That was my goal. But I got knocked off of that, and I got set way back a few years. But it's never too late. It is never too late. I see a lot of videos, people talking about, you over 40, you close to 50, you over 50, get on YouTube now. Do whatever. Do whatever you want to do. It doesn't just have to be YouTube. But this plan goes way back with me. This shit is nothing new to me. These plans and these goals and but you get what I'm saying about the passive income. Slowly over time, that is income coming in while I sleep. Now, is it enough right now to pay my bills? Nope. It's not even enough to do that. I would be happy with just that. I'd be happy with $1,500 a month into my account from YouTube. $1,000 a month that I could solidly count on every month. I would be happy with that. Literally. That I could make a car note, pay some rent, a few groceries. I'd be happy with that. It was coming into my account off something I created, and it's coming in there passively. But I intend to grow much larger than that. That is why I feel like it is important, like they say, to create evergreen content as much as possible. Stuff that people never stop searching for. Stuff that will always be relevant. How-tos. A lot of things could be considered evergreen. And, a lot of these creators teach. So I ran across a girl the other day. I forget her name. I like to give props to people, too. What was her name? She doesn't even have that many subscribers. But her damn content was valuable. I'll look her name up and link it in the description. Some people I have referenced today, if you come back later, catch my live later, if you didn't catch the first part, watch the replay or whatever, I'll have some links in the description box of some people that I've referenced today. But this girl, she was talking about the 3 components of good content. Whether it's minimal, whether it's flashy. She was talking specifically about, especially about either, in reference to evergreen content, that's going to be, it can be many things. Either it's giving people value in many different ways. There's not just one way to give value. By either educating them on something that they don't know, that they might not know, that you have experience with, expertise in, or spreading awareness and education, that type of thing, teaching, or entertaining them, whether it's dancing, singing, performing, acting, comedy, making them laugh, just the way your personality comes across, education, entertaining, value, showing them how to do something. Inspiring. She mentioned that too. Educating, entertaining, and inspiring people. 3 elements that are very important in content to make it evergreen, to make it to where it's always relevant. People will always be searching for that kind of thing. And there are many different types of videos you can do that have at least one of those 3 things: teaching, inspiring, or entertaining. I got a lot of value out of her video, though. I'll link that in the description. I'm going to make that a point to do that. Hey. I'm about to go in. People just, I don't know what's going on today. People just walking through here. I don't know where they're coming from. But, and so I'm still learning on my journey too. I'm not claiming to be, hey, y'all watch this video, you know, I'm a guru and I know it. I don't. I'm still learning, still growing here. But I'm just kind of telling y'all what I've picked up along the way and what worked for me and what didn't. And authentically, for real, where I'm at. It's not thousands of dollars a month. It's not even $1,000 a month. It's not anything a month. It's here lately, it's taken several months for me to even cross that $100 threshold. It's difficult. But at the same time, I told y'all why. Because I was not getting the time and energy that I really needed to focus on being consistent with my channel and my posting. That is important. So I'm having to make up for that lost time, you know? Yeah. But eventually, those videos, I believe that, y'all, if we keep going and we keep having faith in our content and our message and what we want to do, our vision, our goal for our life, those videos that sit there that make change while we sleep, and we keep making videos and we keep getting better and better, and they keep getting better and better, and that money keeps growing. And just depending on what advertisers want to pay what per 1,000, you make more money and more money as you sleep from those videos for years and years. You see what I'm saying? That's what that dude that I can't think of his name was talking about. It is an investment. In the early years, you are working for it. You are putting into it. It is an investment. You are investing in those videos for them to pay off later on as a passive income source while you sleep. Every video you make is an investment into your future. That's kind of the way he broke this down. And I loved his talk. My God, I've got to think of that man's name. And if I do, I'll put him in the description box too, because he made so much sense. I even took notes. This was last year I found that dude. You know, every video is an investment. And even though mine, I've got a couple that are performing really, really great. And I've got quite a few that aren't, you know. But every one of them is performing. Every one of them, every single one of them that I have monetized is bringing in a little something. Okay? That's where you got to be patient and not stop. Perfect your craft. Keep getting better and enjoy yourself. And I know what it's like. Trust me. I know what it's like to be broke and desperate for money. And wanting to just enjoy the process, but needing the goddamn money so bad that you just need one video to pop off. Just to get some groceries, man. Just to get some rent paid. Just to keep your car from being repossessed. I know what that feels like. And having trouble working the regular jobs and the 9-to-5s. I'm almost 50 years old. Believe me, I've been there and done it. I've raised 2 sons. I've got my AA degree after a traumatic childhood and not getting to finish school, being a dropout very early at 13 years old. 2 sons, Associate of Arts degree, which isn't much, but it's something to me. I have always fought hard to overcome what I came from, but it's still hard. I worked my ass off for many years in the restaurant industry and various other jobs, and have always been a very motivated, ambitious person that really always wanted to do something with my life. But I've also had a lot of struggles, mental, emotional, and otherwise struggles in my life, and bad choices, things I had to learn from things I had to overcome. So it is what it is, but it's never too late, and this is why I am not giving up. I keep posting videos, I keep learning, I keep enjoying what I'm doing, and getting better and better at knowing my audience and what they enjoy as well. But I'm not, I could never be totally dictated by what the audience wants. I see that a lot on YouTube. People, coming along in the comments and telling these channels what they need to do and what they're gonna do. And I get it. It's about building a community. It's about getting to know one another and, what people want to see. But at the same time, I can never be completely dictated by that. That may not be what YouTube algorithm says is right, or that may not be what the algorithm pushes out, but I've always been a person that it's got to be authentic to my fucking creativity and authentic to my soul, or I'm not going to push it out. Even if my audiences are flipping all over themselves for it, and that's going to bring in, I'm not going to sell out just for that. It has to be something that I authentically resonate with, that I can stand behind. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how I am. And I'm not going to change it just because people come along and say they don't like it. If they don't like what I said, I shouldn't be making this, or I shouldn't do this or that. I don't buy into trolling and things like that. Do I listen to my subscribers? Yes. Do I enjoy and appreciate their comments? Yes. And take into consideration, just like one of my subscribers came along, or I don't know if he subscribed to me or not, but he's commented on several of my Selena videos. This person I assume is a Selena fan, and asking for more Selena. More Selena. Well, I definitely had that person in mind making that Selena video yesterday. Even though I wanted to do it, I had a great time doing it. It's one of my favorite videos yet. And it's just about earrings. I'm so quirky like that, y'all. I love weird shit. I'm an earring fanatic. I love fashion. I love jewelry. And that's the fun thing about YouTube, is that that's where you can find really unique, off-the-wall, quirky creators that are talking about such niche shit. Instead of, oh, here is Selena and here's her life story, which eventually I may get around to doing that too, because she has a beautiful life story. But instead of that broad category that everybody's already done, I just really wanted to talk about her earrings because I love earrings so much. And I don't know, that's another thing. I watch other people's content. I respect it. I comment. I like. I support. But then I also have times where I take breaks from watching other people's content. And right before I'm going to create a piece of work, I will not go and see what everybody else is saying about it, sometimes on purpose, because I don't want that to influence my creative flow and what I'm going to say about it and what comes out of my soul uniquely. Now, after I get mine posted, of course, I might go take a look to see, has anybody else done this topic? Are there any other videos specifically about Selena's earrings and her jewelry? Which I did, not on YouTube. I still haven't looked to see yet if anybody's done a video about Selena's earrings. But I did run across on my Google search while looking for photographs there and on Pinterest, I did run across a TikToker who did a TikTok on Selena's Chanel jewelry. Not just her earrings, but her Chanel jewelry. I thought, oh my God, that is so fabulous. I love it, love it, love it. So creative and cool. So I do listen to my subscribers, and I do keep in mind. I watch the analytics. I see what they're watching the most of, what they're fond of, and what they want. And I do try to go according to that to a degree. But I also do me. And I think that's the best balance to keep, y'all. And that's where I'm going to leave it today. That's the best balance you could keep. Do you. Do what's authentic to you, what you really want to do, what you enjoy. Even if you don't think other people will. But somewhere within that, try to find things that you think other people might also enjoy. And find that balance if you can. But you can't ever go wrong. You know, I really mean that. You can't ever go wrong being authentic to you. Okay? Even though YouTube is a tough nut to crack, and I did say earlier on that I felt like had I just started my YouTube and kept it at talking about me and never covered a popular case or found something else that I was really passionate about that other people were into, I did say that I think it would have taken my channel a lot longer to get to 1,000, and I mean that. I do feel that way, but I'm still encouraging authenticity always. You cannot go wrong being authentic, being real, and doing you. You can't. But just try to find those balances, you know what I'm saying? All right, well, I think that's about it for today, guys. This live stream has gotten extremely long, but I got out a lot of information. I said a lot. I feel pretty good about it. And I'm grateful for everyone for dropping by. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I needed to mention about YouTube and the channels? If I think of anything, I'll just either do another live stream tomorrow or I'll put it in a video. But right now, I have got other content to get back to working on. And just keep going, guys. Keep working on your content. Keep learning. Keep growing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid of content, bad content. Trial and error. Just keep going, and eventually you will get to the point where you are monetized. You hit the 1K, you hit the 4K watch hours, you go through their little partner program process. Yes, you can definitely get there. Okay, if I got there, anybody can get there, because I never in a million years thought I would be monetized on YouTube. But I'm just being honest. There might be other people hyping that up. I think some people, they know that finance videos make a lot of money, and people talking about this very subject. There may be people out there hyping up that, oh, I got to 1K and now I'm in the partner program. All of a sudden I'm monetized and I make this much every day and I make all this. There might be some folks that do, because they're getting a lot of freaking views on certain videos, maybe because they're doing certain topics. Maybe that actually means something to their soul, and maybe it doesn't. Maybe they're just saying whatever the fuck they need to jump on a trend, to lure people and clickbait into their videos, and whatever shit they're talking is not going to be beneficial in the long run. It might be good advice in the short term, but for the long run, I don't know. There are a lot of people talking about a lot of things. But the truth of my journey on YouTube, for my personal reasons and whatnot, is that nothing really changed after I got monetized. I don't know why there's people out there acting like, oh, right when you get monetized, it's thousands of dollars a day. No, it's not. It's barely 10 cents a day. A lot of days, okay? You got to keep working even after you're monetized. You got to keep having patience. Keep growing. Keep creating. Keep learning. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Don't get burned out. That's why it helps if you love what you're creating too. Now, for some people, right after they get monetized, that's like that guy, I can't think of his name, said, all it takes is one video, man. That's why I loved his breakdown. All these videos are like insurance policies we're putting in. They are investments for the future. And they're sitting there making money while we sleep, even if it's just a few cents here and there. All it takes is for one of them to truly go viral. One long form video to go 500,000, a million views. One long form video. And you're going to get paid some good damn money. You're going to keep getting paid on that while you sleep. And if it's evergreen content, people are going to keep hitting that video year after year after year, searching that content. That's money while you sleep. Now imagine you've got 10 videos that perform that well. Your passive income into the future. So I loved what he talked about as YouTube and our videos being an investment. You are investing. So yes, we do work hard at it for a while, but at the same time, it's making passive income while we sleep, and it has the potential to make great passive income while we sleep. We just got to keep learning, keep growing, and not give up, right? All right, guys, I'm going to split off of here. Hello from Germany. Hi. Hi. For you guys that just tuned in, I've been on here for quite a while talking about my journey to 1,000 subscribers, April 2023. Last year is when I got to 1,000. I'm at 2,200 subscribers right now. And just kind of my life building up to YouTube, and what got me to the 1,000 subscribers, and what's going on with my channel right now, and just some different things, okay? Some insight into having a YouTube channel. So if you get a chance, go back and watch the replay. I will have it posted up later. And thanks for dropping by. I'll see you guys again soon.